What's up, otakus? It's a special edition here. We're doing our live fantasy baseball draft, and as you can see, pretty pretty sparse league this year. Got 8 people in the league. We were trying to recruit 12 for the league. Um, yeah, it's a shallow league. It's pretty much the bare minimum, for any league you'd want. It's both good and bad. Good because it'll be a tight knit group of guys. I pretty much follow everybody in the league in terms of the comic fan, and I've invited them to this live stream, and I'll just be interested to see if they show up for the live stream. You're welcome to hop on at any time. We're just going to be broadcasting this live stream, uh, the the live draft, pretty much. And as you can see, I'm the third pick in the draft, so that's a pretty good position to be in. I'm not going to reveal who I'm going to pick yet, but depending on basically, it looks like Acuna Jr. and Trey Turner are going first and second most rounds, with Aaron Judge there as well. So I could pick up any three of those players as my potential first pick. Now, I do have some people that I am looking to pick up, and I would have preferred to have picked eighth, to be honest, because um, I don't think going first necessarily improves your. I mean, those three guys, all of them are set to have really solid fantasy years. I think Judge, while he won't repeat what he did last year in terms of home runs, he can definitely drive in over 100. And that Yankees offense is pretty uh, potent. So it should be interesting to see what happens now. So I'm just kind of concerned. I know the draft is late. It's late Sunday night. We've got about 10 more minutes before the draft starts, and I'm not seeing anybody popped in yet. So I think I'm the first one that's entered this draft. So if everybody's doing set it to auto draft, I guess that's better for me. I can kind of, you know, pick and choose, take my time on things, but we'll just have to see. It's going to be a quick draft if no one's entered. It'll just be me picking players, which doesn't make for the best TV. But then again, it should be a fun season. It's my first time in this particular league. I don't know if the comic book community has done fantasy baseball in previous years. I would assume that they have, but I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to the season. I think I mentioned on a previous video where I talked about the World Baseball Classic and Japan beating Team USA and watching that moment live. I would, because I watched the previous game when Japan came back to beat Mexico, and that was just an incredible game. I mean, talk about talk about dramatics. I mean, that came down. That was a walk off win, right? And the championship game was a little bit different in tone. Japan kind of led throughout the game. Well, not throughout the game. They led. They took a lead in, I think, the third or fourth inning, and never relinquished it, and it was a very low scoring affair. Um, 3-2, and then Shohei comes in to strike out Trout for the save. And yeah, that was just an incredible at bat moment. Those two guys are teammates. It was just everybody's calling it a dream matchup, and man, was it just like I was saying before, like when the tournament started, we had an opportunity if Japan met US in the final. I was thinking that before the tournament even got started. I was like, man, these two teams are probably going to be in the finals. And lo and behold, that came true. It was quite remarkable. Um, yeah. But anyway, the draft's going to start soon. I don't see anybody in yet, and that's disappointing. I'm hoping at least a few people show up for the live draft. They don't necessarily have to come on, you know, come into this video stream. Hey, what's up, Ben? Um, we're just going over my live draft. No one's in the draft yet, as you can see, and you know, hopefully people show up. It's always fun when people are engaged from day one, and it's an engaged league. Like everybody's participating and doing their best. But I don't know how engaged the book nerd community is. I know I was a big fantasy baseball person. Um, I think the last league I participated was in like 2016. Um, I stopped following baseball after that because of just some things the Mariners front office did, and but this is the first year I'm actually really excited about the season. The Mariners not only are coming off a playoff berth, um, which was exciting to see last season. I mean, even though I knew we weren't going to go far in the playoffs, it was just nice to break that streak of uh, not being. I think we had the longest streak of not being in the playoffs. It was like 20 plus years or something. So nice to see us break that streak. Um, I don't think we're necessarily primed to go repeat or even go back to the playoffs. That's the expectation here in Seattle. But to be honest, our team's not that good. Um, we just kind of got lucky in spots last season, and I doubt that's unless a bunch of guys step up. That's going to be hard. I mean, I do believe we'll be stay competitive. It's not like we're going to have a losing season, but I don't see our team competing with the league's best for in a 5 or 7 game matchup. So, but the Mariners are going to be the Mariners, and just again, I think any Mariners fan knows you have to just take the season with a grain of salt and just set your expectations low, or else you're just going to be disappointed. All right, given that no one's joined this live stream, I think I can go ahead and just start uh, plugging in players that I want to pick. Well, I won't do that yet because if someone pops in, I don't want to reveal my hand too soon. But yeah, yeah, I have a good feeling I'm gonna win this league though, because actually I don't have a good sense of people's baseball knowledge. I'm just making the assumption a bunch of comic book nerds probably don't follow baseball or aren't into baseball as much. That could be a wrong assumption on my part because I'm also a comic book nerd and I love baseball. So but I'm sure they have a passion for baseball that is on a level of mine. But I mean, I doubt people have the experience that I have in fantasy. Maybe Brian LCS might have the equivalent. Oh my god, there's ads on drafts now. This is ridiculous.
Ray Mayotte is a guaranteed fit.
Sorry about that. Wow. It's a 30-second ad they're making you watch before the draft. That really before. Wow, they've got another minute 12 ad. This is ridiculous. I gotta close this. How do I close this? There's gotta be a way for me to. I guess I have to watch. Here we go. There's a little button here. I think I clicked it, the ad. That's why it went on. It's not normally on, right? All right, so we got about a minute 30 left to go. No one's still in the draft. This is a little bit disappointing because it's a sign of how committed people are going to be. Like everybody's going to come in with like, oh yeah, but I didn't wasn't in the live draft for whatever reason, and when you have that kind of like, you don't have the the ownership of the team you drafted. I know how that affects participation in the league. But hopefully everybody at least did the pre-draft rankings, and people get to pick the teams they want. But I guess this gives me an extra advantage. I do feel like I'm going to win this league, given how shallow it is, and given I'm going up against a bunch of comic book community people. Not to say that actually I do have one disadvantage. It's if I haven't been following baseball. Um, I mean, I follow baseball. It's just always in the periphery. There's a difference between like really being like really following the season, especially when you're doing fantasy baseball, like where you're checking box scores every day, and just being sort of a casual in the periphery sort of thing. And that's definitely what I've been in the last couple of seasons. All right, Roscoe's gonna. So it looks like I'm the only one in the draft. It's gonna go through auto picks. So I think there we go. Brian's gonna get his auto pick soon. So it looks like Roscoe took Ronald Acuna Jr. as the first pick, and predictably Brian took Trey Turner. I am going to draft Shohei Ohtani first. I know I should have probably taken Judd for the offensive numbers, but I think Ohtani, given it's his free agent year, kind of like Judge last year, he's going to go. I think he's going to go off. He's going to go off. So we'll just see what happens. All right, Tylex is going to do his auto draft. He took Julio Rodriguez. It's pretty much going according to the the draft rankings at this point. Jose Ramirez. That's an interesting pick. That is a very interesting pick. All right, so Kyle Tucker is taken 7th. Then Mookie Betts, that's a good pick. Who else we got? Looks like Vlad Jr. is going to go next. Yep. And then Bo Bichette's going to go next. Pretty much going down the pipeline of the ranks. Okay, Bo Bichette. And we got Matt's Majestic. So Matt's Majestic Team, I assume that to be Comics by the Bay Matt. I am not completely 100% sure about that, but Matt took Juan Soto. Mhm. And then Corbin Burns as 12th. The pitcher. Interesting. Jordan Alvarez. Okay, it's my turn. I'm just going to turn on my ADP rankings here, my rank. And I'm going to draft Shohei again as a pitcher. Not fooling around. I am going all in on Shohei, both offensively and defensively. And I still have bandwidth to get Trout, I think. I do have bandwidth to get Trout. This is going to be interesting. Brian's going to take Roscoe to Garrett Cole. Brian took a Pete Alonso. And I will take Mike Mother effing Trout. Oh man, this team is looking super dope. It's looking super dope. I'm liking this. All right. Yeah, I just think Trout. I think the World Baseball Classic lit a little bit of a fire under Trout, and now there's all this talk: is Otani going to stay with the Angels? If he's going to stay, the Angels definitely have to make the playoffs this year. And so I'm sure there's a lot of talk in the Angels clubhouse about really performing. And, they've been struggling with some injuries, not the best pitching staff in the world. But offensively, again, if a lot of that lineup is healthy and producing, it ranks as one of the best offensive lineups in the game. Couple that with pretty good pitching performances last season from some of the starters. Um, they had a horrible bullpen the previous 2 years ago. That kind of got improved for the latter part of the season. It's just a lot of things have to come together, but we'll have to see. I'm excited to watch Angels now because I got three of my draft picks are from the Angels. All right, let's focus on who I got next here. There's a lot of players here. I think I'm going to be targeting Chaz Chisholm. He looks like he's the best player that I'm targeting. The people left, or maybe JT Realmuto. Now let's go with Chaz. I'm going to go with Chaz. And then I think we can still target JT here. I think I'm going to target Matt Olson next. Here we go. So Brian takes Sandy Alcantara, and I'm going to take Matt Olson. I'm liking my offense. All right, now let's usually I think I shared my draft strategy last time. Usually by my first couple offensive picks, I do look at starting pitcher. So let's just see who we have. Kenley Jensen. He's on the disabled list now. Am I going saves? Am I going starting pitcher? Oh, I'm on relief pitchers here. I want starting pitchers. All right, so Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish, Gallic, Manoa. Looks like I still have some bandwidth for. Oops. I think I still have some bandwidth for. Yeah, I don't know if I should I go for another offensive, then pick up you. Interesting. Let's see. Who do I need here offensively? I could use a catcher. Oh, JT's still on the board. Wow. Okay. This is the benefit of a really shallow league. A lot of these guys are still on the board. All right, so it's my turn to draft. I'm gonna go with JT. Boom. That's a real. I think being Darvish. Should I go Darvish or Manoa? I think I can go. I think I can get both. To be honest, even I can probably get even target Kevin Gausman, Framber Valdez. All right, I am going to take Yu Darvish, and then target Manoa or Gausman. Gausman's good strikeouts. Manoa was up. Manoa had a low whip last year. I'll just have to see who. We could go Teoscar Hernandez as well. Just continue to build on my offense, man. Okay, Gausman was taken by Cole. Do I want to take Alek Manoa? Let's look at his stats from last year again. Yeah, he looked solid last year. Let's take him. Actually, I might not have a chance. It's going pretty much according to draft rankings at this point. It looks like he's Ty Locke's his web slinger. So I'm not seeing. Maybe I should take a relief pitcher now. Let's look at the relief pitching. All right, I think I'm going to take. This is tough. Day to day. All right, let's take Teoscar. Let's hope this guy lives up to his potential. All right, now I definitely want to take a relief pitcher here. Mm, I'm just focusing on drafting, so don't mind my silence here. 'Cause- Thank you, Google Chrome, for letting me know that. Starling Marte. That's a good pick, Starling Marte. I think he's still. I think he's just a great, consistent player. So you're going to get a good amount of production, offensive production from him. Um, who do I want with my next pick? Oh, let me look at my list here. Oh, yeah. The thing is, I already picked up a. Oh no, I don't have a shortstop yet. So let's get him out. It's good. There we go. Should have Max Fried. Willie Adams. Adams. I'm just going to assume it's Adams. And I think we want to go starting pitching at this point. Let's look who's still on the board. Max Fried. He had a pretty good season last year. Logan Webb, Clayton Kershaw, Robbie Ray. Let's go Robbie Ray. Well, George Kirby's another guy. Let's see here. We're currently on. Yeah, let's go Robbie Ray. I'm liking the team. Solid team. All right, Byron Buxton, man. This guy has been just touted for many years to be, you know, I do need a third baseman here. It does look like most of the people in this league did not fill out their pre-draft. Uh, so I mean, people are pretty much picking along the fantasy baseball rankings, which is a little bit disappointing. I mean, you'd think they'd rank the do more of a strategic take. Maybe they're just. I think you know you can no matter how you can do your preferences at the end of the day, but that's not necessarily going to produce better results. So sometimes going with what the fantasy experts rank is can be a smart move, but they're rarely ever right on in terms of who gets the top. Because like for many years, it was really just like Trout every year, and then everybody else, right? So who do I want here? What do I need? A third baseman, Gunnar Henderson, Christian Yelich. Did not have a good season last year, but he is such a good player. I'm going to take a chance on Christian Yelich. And we're going to go back to pitching now. All these pitchers on the disabled list. All right. Nestor Cortez. Should I take this guy? Or should I take Logan Gilbert? I'm gonna go with Cortez. Let's see what he did in the. All right, let's go with Cortez. I'm gonna go with now. Getting to that time where it's need to really be selective now with these picks here. Man, I got a deep team. Okay, so the draft is done, and thanks for joining. Why didn't you join, fanboy? Why didn't you join the dive draft? Oh, yeah, I guess you're working. All right, makes sense. I didn't. I think you. I can take a look at your team. Let me see here. let's take a look at the teams here. So, Fanboy, you got your team's not looking bad. You got Bo Bichette. Um, you got O'Neal Cruz at the utility. So you got some strong shortstops. You got too many shortstops, actually. Looks like you drafted auto draft gave you nothing but offensive players. You may need to. You got one additional pitching. Your pitching is decent, I guess. Yeah, I really like my team. So let's see. Let's see, Brian. Who Brian has? Brian has a pretty decent team. He had Trey Turner, that Freddie Freeman. He also picked up a lot of offensive bench players. Actually, no pitching bench. So that should be interesting. Looks like pretty much everybody has that trend. Let's see. Let's see Cole. So Cole has a pretty good balance. He's got two pitchers on the bench, and three offensive guys. He drafted Jose Altuve, who's out for at least 8 weeks. I guess if he puts him on the injured reserve, he can go and pick a guy off the waivers. And it's being it's a shallow league. That's actually not a bad strategy. I think that's actually a pretty good pickup. I should have maybe honed in on Altuve or some of the other injured reserve. I didn't think to put those guys on, because what you can do is after you draft them, you put them on the IL, and then you can go out and pick up another waiver guy. So that's actually not a bad strategy if you're doing it in the late rounds. I probably should have picked up a IL closer or somebody. But yeah, he's got a good team, Cole. Let's see. Vlad Jr., Mookie Betts, Marcus Simeon, Corey Seager. He's deep on the infielders. Not too shabby on the outfielders either. So interesting team there. But again, I like my team. I like the way my team's. I'm definitely banking on some of these guys like Stanton and Rizzo to kind of bounce back. I mean, hopefully they use the off season to really. I know that Yankees offense is just they just want them swinging for the fences, but hopefully they take a more disciplined approach. And again, if these guys just they're my bench guys, so if they come in and just get a home run for me whenever I bring them off the bench, I'll be happy. I'm pretty much going to slot in Trout, Hernandez, and Yoshida as my starters, and just rotate Yelich, Stanton, Rizzo, whoever's the hotter player, rotate them in accordingly. I do like my offense though. I've got some speed there with Yelich, Otani, and Chisholm, so I'll be. It's not like I'm going to give away steals necessarily week to week. I think if there's any weakness, it's saves. I've got two guys who look like they're not like they don't have the clay. But the thing about saves is you can always pick up saves off waivers and just being seeing how this league is so shallow, you're gonna find a guy who comes in and gives you utility saves. So we'll see what happens there. I do have 4 relief pitchers in that sense, who I could slot in and then bring in that's what I like to do. I like to slot in the relief pitchers to just give me consistent uh, low WHIP, low ERA type numbers, possible saves, and then slot in my starters. So let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 starters I can slot in and rotate outside of my 1, 2, yeah, 4. Sorry, 4 starters I can rotate in outside of my 2 slotted starters. So this is going to be. I am feeling very good about whooping butt in this league. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.